Today on What Went Wrong, how to think shit up. Hi, I'm Brent Mauser, and I've made over 40 feature films. So I've had to come up with a lot of scripts, a lot of plots and characters, plenty of ideas about movies. Whether it's an animated Lego series or a 10-film epic, a project is full of ideas. Every frame contains an idea. The idea of why a character is a hero, how a hero accomplishes their goals, or the idea of a camera shot. And with a feature film, you have to come up with 90 minutes of ideas. A hell of a lot more with a series. But where do these ideas come from? Well, it's part inspiration, part motivation, and part necessity. Around 2005 or so, my parents were retiring to Arizona. So they told me to come back and get all my old shit that was still in the attic and up in the closets. Some of that crap was a garbage can full of Legos. After I brought it home, I started going through it and, I was playing with it. Making the spaceship Legos fly around. And I thought, hey, this could make a cool video. At the time, I wasn't making much money and all my actors were in other cities, some even in other states. So how would I do it? Well, I figured I could just take pictures of the ships and cut them out in Photoshop and then edit them with keyframing in Final Cut. Since it would essentially be an animated video, I wouldn't need the actors be present on any set, I just needed their voice. And since the series was about spaceships and all the characters were wearing helmets, I could record the actors over the phone. The tinniness would work as if it was coming over their comm channels inside their helmet.
And again. Right, Howard, and let's set the dog to war.
Then I had to figure out how to make their mouths move. So I had a closed mouth, open mouth, and then a mouth showing teeth. I'd then make this a transparent TIFF and then go frame by frame, syncing up the proper mouth plate with the proper sound the mouth was making. The rest of the sound was effects and music.
Oh my God, the Devonians are firing back! We didn't plan for this!
I had a blast making them. It was fun. And it became a pretty popular YouTube channel. The idea of War Dogs came out of motivation, just wanting to make something, and necessity. No actors, no money. So I had to come up with the ideas on how to do it in order to solve those problems. Now my other movies, I get a lot of ideas from music. The Innocent Saga was pretty much written while I was driving on long road trips. I'd put on music while driving and just imagine scenes and dialogue. When I'd get to the destination, I'd write it down. Nowadays, when I have an idea, be it a single line or an entire premise, I jot it down in my phone. Sometimes I use the audio recorder to dictate the idea. Others, I use the Notes app. Then a month or two later, I go over all the ideas and figure a place for them. But there are other places to find ideas. What's going on in the news today? What drives you crazy? What do you want to say something about? In 2009, I saw the overstepping of environmental policies. I saw how the fear of global warming was causing the erosion of individual liberties. And people were okay with it. So I took a page out of the Soylent Green and Sci-Fi Handbook and wrote a movie called Green Conspiracy, where I made a cool conspiracy film, but also attacked over-regulation by showing the ultimate result of those dangerous policies. So, as they say, you can rip something from the headlines, or go and find something in public domain, like Sherlock Holmes. Now, we'll talk about public domain soon, and all the rules around that. But find something published before 1923, and update it, remake it, put your own take on it. Set it in the future, make it your own. Or find someone you truly admire in the past, like we did with Bass Reeves, and tell their story. They don't have to be famous, maybe it's a family member, and tell their story. Ideas are all around you, and when something strikes you as interesting, when you get an emotional response out of a headline, or a person's history, or even a pile of building bricks, then you know you've got an idea that you can be passionate about. You'll just need to decide if you want to pursue that idea or let it disappear into the vapor. Remember, the choice is yours. It's up to you whether you make it or not.